This gas discovery just pulled the Philippines, the US, and China into the same headline. On January 19th, 2026, something big happened in the Philippines. President Marcos Jr. and Burden announced what many outlets called the country's first natural gas discovery in over a decade. The well is called Malampaya East-1, or May-1, and it sits just off Palawan, right next to the long-running Malampaya gas field. And that location is everything. Malampaya has powered a huge chunk of Luzon's electricity for years, but its output has been declining, and the government has been openly worrying about what comes next. This new discovery could be part of that answer. Early estimates say the reservoir holds about 98 billion cubic feet of gas. Initial tests show a flow rate of 60 million cubic feet per day. That's not final, it's early stage. But it's enough for Manila to say, this could be a high-productivity well, especially since it sits inside a critical energy corridor. And no, these numbers aren't rumors. They come straight from official Philippine releases in major news reporting. That's why this discovery instantly became bigger than geology. In the Philippines, offshore gas isn't just about fuel. It's about grid stability, electricity prices, and national planning. When the government talks up a nearby gas supply, it's really saying this: we want less dependence on volatile fuel imports and fewer power problems in our most important economic zone. This is also where the viral headlines start to go off the rails. You've probably seen claims about a $26 trillion gas field in the South China Sea. But those numbers usually refer to theoretical resources spread across massive areas, not one confirmed, audited field you can tap overnight. What's actually being discussed in January 2026 reporting is very specific. Malampaya East-1, one well, early test results, near an existing gas project. And this is where the story really locks into place, because the next lines are doing a lot of work, and they're doing it on purpose. These are the exact words Manila chose to frame why this discovery matters. And they're worth hearing exactly as said. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. stated, initial test results show that the well flowed at 60 million cubic feet per day. This indicates the well has the potential to produce even more, confirming that it is a high-productivity resource comparable to the original Malampaya wells. He added, aside from natural gas, the discovery also includes condensate, a high-value liquid fuel. These additional resources can help support the government's efforts to stabilize our power supply. Those two statements do two things at once. First, they present the discovery as technically promising. Second, and more importantly, they tie it directly to power supply stability. That part isn't casual. It's a message to the public about energy security. And it's a message to investors that this project has political backing. Now let's shift to the second half of the viral headline. The claim that the United States surrounded the field and China can't touch it. This is where things get exaggerated. What's actually happening isn't a dramatic US Navy ring around a single gas well. The real update is more subtle and more durable. The Philippines is increasing patrols and asset deployment around the Malampaya energy area. Recent reporting treats this as a test case, how Manila plans to secure offshore energy projects in a strategically contested environment. And here's the key point. The security move that's clearly documented is Philippine-led, not a publicly confirmed U.S. naval encirclement. Reports describe the Philippine Coast Guard deploying vessels and aerial assets to help secure the Malampaya East area, including an offshore patrol vessel and additional patrol craft. Manila has also emphasized that the discovery sits within what it calls its exclusive economic zone under international maritime law. Other reporting notes that the armed forces of the Philippines have expanded both aerial and maritime patrol coverage in the same general area, explicitly linking that posture to both the original Malampaya facility and the new discovery nearby. So the real story isn't about a sudden military standoff. It's about how the Philippines is signaling that future offshore energy projects will be protected by design, by policy, and by presence. So where does the United States fit into all of this? If the security posture is clearly Philippine-led, the most grounded answer is this: alliances and access have expanded. The U.S. role isn't about parking warships around a gas well. It's about joint operations, shared access, and raising the cost of interference. without Washington having to say it's directly guarding a commercial energy site. That's where alliance architecture comes in. Joint activity continues. U.S. messaging reinforces deterrence. And the goal is simple: make it clear that interfering with Philippine public vessels or forces in the South China Sea isn't a low-risk move. A key piece of that structure is EDCA, the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. Its visibility increased after the U.S. and the Philippines publicly named 4 additional agreed locations in April 2023, including Balabac Island in Palawan. Why does that matter? Because logistics matter. Access determines how quickly forces can coordinate, refuel, reposition, and sustain presence. It doesn't mean U.S. troops are permanently stationed everywhere, and it doesn't mean there's a naval circle around one gas field, but it does expand the menu of real-world options for cooperation. At the same time, U.S. public diplomacy has been very consistent about one thing: its defense commitments apply in the South China Sea. This is the sentence that goes viral. This is the line that gets framed as a shield. And this is why exaggerated headlines can sound believable. Here it is, preserved exactly as stated. The United States Department of State said, "The United States reaffirms that Article 4 of the 1951 U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty extends to armed attacks on Philippine armed forces, public vessels, or aircraft, including those of its Coast Guard anywhere in the South China Sea." That statement is meant to deter, not automate. It's designed to shape decision-making by signaling that actions against Philippine public vessels could carry broader consequences. But it's not a magic switch. It's not a guarantee of how events would unfold. Treaty politics is about risk calculation, not pressing a single button. And meanwhile, China's official position hasn't changed. China's response hasn't changed. Beijing rejects Philippine actions it sees as incompatible with its own claims, and it continues to argue that outside powers make tensions worse, not better. In viral headlines, that turns into, "China can't touch it." In reality, the situation is more precise and more complicated. This is a dispute over jurisdiction, presence, and who gets to operate where. It's about whether activity around sensitive maritime areas is treated as legitimate law enforcement and economic development, or as provocation. Chinese official statements consistently stress one point: Philippine laws and announcements don't change Beijing's position. Here's that posture, preserved exactly as stated. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China said, "China's territorial sovereignty and maritime rights and interests in the South China Sea shall by no means be affected by the enactment of the Act." So what does the full picture look like when you put all the pieces together? First, the discovery itself is real, named and quantified, at least at an early testing stage. Malampaya East-1, with an estimated 98 billion cubic feet of gas and early flow rates highlighted by Manila. Second, the Philippines has tightened security around the area. Patrols and asset deployments have increased, and the site is being treated explicitly as an offshore energy protection challenge in a strategically sensitive sea space. Third, the United States continues to frame its alliance commitments in a way that strengthens deterrence. EDCA expands access and coordination options, even though there's no public evidence of a U.S. Navy encircling the well itself. And fourth, China continues its own maritime signaling in disputed areas, maintaining that Philippine actions don't alter Beijing's claimed rights. So the legal and political dispute stays active, even as Manila pushes forward with energy development.